Hello, I'm Toycat, and my job here on YouTube can be effectively described as trying to convince as many people and algorithms to recommend my videos to others as I possibly can. This is how I live or die on the internet. This is how you make the ad revenue. It's how pretty much any influencer can survive, and it might interest you therefore to learn that Reddit's front page, one of the biggest source of traffic, is something I've never had anything I've ever intentionally put on Reddit go to. The key word there is intentionally, because although I'll probably never have anything intentionally make it to the front page, I did see something quite interesting because I made it there by accident the other day because someone reposted one of my tweets to madlads. In case you're curious, I posted a tweet saying that in the UK we sometimes joke about having to order from the kids menu in America to get a normal sized meal. Today I actually did it, and this is what a $5.50 kids meal at Olive Garden looked like. It is legitimately just a regular amount of food. This is, you know, like, okay, maybe this is a thing Americans can't relate to, but this is a huge amount of food, by the way. Like, again, this was a kids meal. It was 1/4 the price of the main meal, but it was an amount of food that was like, yeah, that is a restaurant amount of food. That is how much I expect to eat if I go out and order food. But in America, this is the kids meal. This is the, like, okay, I guess if your kid can't eat very much. And although this is an atrocity, I have to mention, right now, like, yeah, it's pasta with some cheese sauce and some cheese on top, and then chips, because the side options were fries, pasta, or broccoli, and it's like, I don't want pasta as a side of my pasta. I don't want broccoli because, you know, I'm a kid, and also we had to go fries and pasta, and yeah, basically we got 73,000 upvotes on just someone reposting my tweet right there, and yeah, with 73,000 upvotes, it made the homepage, and as a result, I have 2,700 people who have no idea who this Andrew Toycat person is, and instead are just commenting based on the thing that I did. And let's go ahead and let's read how the internet reacts, you know, to my Olive Garden extravaganza. So yeah, the post got 73,000 upvotes on effectively a subreddit for mocking mad lads, like, oh my god, I told Detail on the floor, he actually did it, the absolute madman. It's like, you know, people who think they're going crazy when they're not actually, and I can kind of see that, like, oh yeah, I actually ordered from the kids menu, how crazy I am. But yeah, basically we have 2,700 comments from people who have no idea who this Andrew Toycat person is, and it's really interesting because the people who are subscribed on this channel, the people who actively seek out my stuff, they either really like me or they really dislike me. This is 2,700 comments from people who are probably very neutral towards me. They're just commenting on the thing that I've done, and they're commenting on me based on this one action. This is the only thing they know about me, and I'm so curious to see what they have to say. So we're going to start with the most upvoted comment, because there's going to be some people who are going to be railing on me right here, but this first comment's great because, trust me, I'm right, with almost 10,000 upvotes. Just says, I'm American and always feel a compulsive need to finish what's on my plate. I should start doing this. It's funny because immediately afterwards he's like, apparently every single one of you only eats half, yet 30% plus of the population is obese. Something doesn't add up here. I've heard the percentage for America is 38%. 38% of people are obese, and that is why there is a stereotype about big meals, because you go out to eat and they give you like a day's worth of food. I'd argue in some cases more than a day's worth of food. The caloric intake for like a Cheesecake Factory meal is more than I can eat in it. Certain meals is more than I would eat in a day if I was choosing, and that's where this comment kind of comes from. So yeah, I don't know, just have to mention that right there. Kind of funny. But the second most upvoted comment seems to be a little bit the other direction, because they say that 25 years in restaurants taught me that the children's menu is terrible for choice and quality. Order a regular portion and ask for side plates to share. Net result will be a better meal. You chose Olive Garden, yet every North American city offers Italian-American family restaurants or fine dining mom and pop operations that offer quality over quantity. And yeah, you know, first of all, two things here. One is their solution to American restaurants give me too much food is order a regular portion and also get some side plates to share. You know, if you have a problem with too much food, order more food. That is 30, this is this guy's solution to my problem I raised in this tweet. Again, ignoring my problem, just putting his desires over it, like, you know what, I think restaurants don't give enough food. Anyway, next up, they say right here that I chose Olive Garden and then roast me for saying I could have gone to some local Italian-American family restaurant, which, first of all, not every North American city offers one, like statistically most of them do, but big generalization. And second of all, chains do have a place in the world. Not, you know, Olive Garden might be worse than a lot of places, but why I went there is a whole story, by the way. Like, I needed to experience it. I'm a big fan of chains. I like the consistency and quality. I'm curious about it. I like being able to relate to people, because no one knows about this random mom and pop shop. No one knows if it's going to be good. That is some of the fun for some people, but sometimes you want a consistently good experience, not a sometimes amazing, sometimes bottom tier experience. And just, I don't know, long story short, there's a whole bunch of, you know, people responding to that, but let's move into the next one here. Because a lot of these comments are kind of like Americans defending their practices, like this one saying, as an American, I am fine with larger portions because I purposely put half to the side and eat it the next day. Nobody said it has to be eaten in one sitting. And yeah, I always get roasted for always taking half my meals home for dinner. I'm not a member of the Clean Plate Club at work. But yeah, like the thing is like, this is something you can do. It's something a lot of people defend doing, but it's like, why give you enough food that you shouldn't eat all at once? Why put it all on the plate if it's not intended for that? I feel like a great system could be like, what about having like a communal pot that you pour onto your plate or something, and then you can take the communal pot home when you're done, and that's just saying, here's a bunch of food, eat as much as you like. Cool system. No, they're giving you a huge plate and they're saying, you can eat that all now, or you can take a doggy bag, American concept, which confuses me a bit, like, as to why it's such a institution that everyone has it. But yeah, in America, it's very common to just take your leftovers home, and that's a thing you can do. But even with it being a cultural phenomenon, it doesn't mean everyone does. It means everyone is pressured to eat a huge amount of food. Again, an unhealthy amount of food, like a day's worth, sometimes more than a day's worth of food, all in one sitting, because it's psychologically proven, it's just a fact, that the more food on your plate, the more, your more expectations are. This is why fancy restaurants always serve, on small plates, and then they fill them very fully, because the size of your plate does determine how your appetite works and how much you think you're going to be eating. Because again, we are basically just monkeys. We see food, we think we need to eat that amount of food because we don't know when we're next getting food. Except we live in the developed world where we know we're getting food in the future. It's just our monkey brains don't. So that's why having a huge portion is a bad idea. But this guy disagrees with me, and that's fair enough. This next one's fun because they're straight up just destroying my choice in food here. Who the fuck eats fries with pasta? Also, that's the saddest plate of pasta I've ever seen. Lamau, Olive Garden kid meals. And yeah, it's just such a... I'll admit, it was a dumb option. I just wanted some pasta. I didn't want much pasta. And then they offered me fries or pasta as my side. I went for fries with it. And apparently as a result, I get destroyed for it. And I think the logic there is like kids, every kid eats fries. Like, it's weird to me that like the pickiest eaters that are enabled by their parents in some cases, like the pickiest eaters will always eat fries. Something about the human brain just loves fries, no matter how picky, no matter how ridiculous you are. So yeah, it's for kids. Olive Garden does fries, apparently only on the kids menu, and they're actually pretty good, I will say. They're like really sad, they're just potato, but like, they're almost there with some good seasoning. I reckon Olive Garden could have the best fries, but I'm not going to defend my going to Olive Garden and eating fries comment right now. I love that the next comment here is Toy Cat is yes, and someone actually gave them gold for it, as well as someone giving them silver, I think. Is that what these awards are? I'm pretty sure. And then finally, a true man of culture. Because the guy who posted this tweet clearly is a fan, clearly follows me on Twitter. Captain John 720, hit me up. Cool that you managed to post something that made the front page just with my little thing right there. I love the number of references in here of like, welcome to Geography of Toy Cat. Also, wow, meme political ideology of Minecraft, cave update, Toy Cat is yes, Toy Cat is yes. I love that there's like a small portion of the Reddit community who are like, yeah, I know the Toy Cat guy, and recognize it from the tweet. So I love that. So yeah, and we'll move on from that. Let's move on to the next thing here, because Villian420 is like, just like the simulations, and prequel memes, always fun, right? But also, yeah, I mean, like, America is kind of like going into the it's kind of like going into the world of movies. If you are from outside the US, all movies that you watch, because Hollywood is just the dominant force in movie making, all movies you watch, social media things you see, even Reddit posts are based in the United States, and it's kind of crazy when you go there and you see things like, wow, Olive Garden is real, and wow, Americans really do eat big food. It's not an exaggeration, because most cultural stereotypes are huge exaggerations. Not American ones. Not American ones. That is my genuine experience of the world. Also, pasta with marinara and french fries, eh? Your taste in American cuisine will never be bested. Godspeed, cultured swine. This guy comes from the UK to visit the United States and decides on going to a dinner at Olive Garden. Seriously, imagine flying across the Atlantic to pay $13.99 for microwave marinara sauce and use that as an opportunity to trash talk an entire country. Fuck you, governor, and just... Whoa here, guys. This is an interesting thing you can see on the internet where like people tend to form like hate groups and love groups, kind of like on this channel. And with this particular post, there's people who are like, yeah, he's got a point, and people are like, no, what the heck, you limey Brit, what the heck, come over to here, eat Olive Garden of all places, and then use it to criticize our entire country. And it is kind of funny that, yeah, I flew across the Atlantic. In case you're curious, it was last weekend. I was in America. for a week. I did fly from the UK to the United States, and I did go to Olive Garden. I did eat some let's be honest, like most chain restaurants probably do microwave their stuff, like it's prepared somewhere else, I imagine. I paid $5.50, so you know, valuable question 6. Clearly didn't read the tweet itself, but it is something that people have been roasting me for all over this, and I'll admit I enjoy it a little bit, but also chill, guys. Do you see the point that people can get this far down the hate rabbit hole in 4 comments? Something I quite enjoyed was that a lot of Europe is actually on track to be fatter than the USA very soon. So very quickly it's becoming a worldwide issue, not an American one. And then the response is cultural victory. And yeah, just fun little fact, the world is getting very obese. The UK in particular, I think, has some of the highest rates in Europe. You know, you can make fun like Americans obese, UK people not, but that's not actually true. There is just like it's an interesting thing where like as a country's income rises, one of the fastest things that people spend money on, especially when it's abundant as it is right now with no real, you know, limitations on it, is just cheap, not very good for you, very tasty food. As I'm sure, and you know, like I have an entire series on my 3rd channel reviewing fast food, so I'm sure that's no news to you that I enjoy that cheap and that very not good for you amazing food, and that's why I was at Olive Garden. So yeah, it all makes sense. It all comes back together. Also, who the feeds their kids macaroni and fries? You know, I did think that immediately. Like, come on, guys, you gotta chill on this being like the main option for kids. Also, bro, everyone complains about portion sizes, but like, if you don't want big portion sizes, just don't eat it all and take the rest home. I hate small portion sizes because they're literally never enough food to feed me. Before you get angry and tell me I should be healthier, don't. I'm not fat, lol. First of all, chill on that one. Second of all, yeah, the idea, like, so many people defend it by being like, oh yeah, you can take the food home. Some portion of people do, but Olive Garden in particular, I know this because I looked at their menu. You can confirm if you are a real-life American, not even a simulated one. You can look at the menu and it's like, for $5 more, they'll make you a second portion to take home, which is implying the first portion is not for taking home. You can take it home if you can't eat it, but the implication every American place is like, eat it here, or if you really can't, there's a box, and that is, even, you know, in the UK, it's like, if you don't eat the food, it's generally left. Like, with the exception of London, which is a lot more international, you can usually take some food home. Usually you get an amount of food that's meant for one meal, and that is a crazy concept to Americans. It's funny, actually, you can see this in reverse, like, when Americans come to Europe, they're like, why did they give me a dinner when I wanted, like, 4 dinners? I'm so confused. But yeah, I guess, like, it's a value thing, like, you don't want to be, you never want to spend a lot of money on food and then be hungry, right? That's not a fact. IDK if it's an unpopular opinion or not, but I love the massive portion sizes here. They're not unreasonably priced, and I get both dinner one night and lunch the next day, or I can split with someone, or maybe I'm just really hungry. I fail to see the downside of a big portion as long as moderation is used. Yeah, there you go. That, there we go. There it is. There it's gone. It's gone. I do understand a significant portion of people lack the self-control to regulate their diet. Also, bro, they are so overweight. Not all of them though. That's nice. They didn't generalize too much. They made a huge generalization, and then they said, not generalizing. That's great. Also, several Italians committed suicide after seeing this meal. I mean, again, like, the concept in America of Italian things is always Italian-American. Nothing comes from Italy. The concept of pizza, I mean, like, I actually like American pizza better, but it's entirely, like, removed from Italian pizza. I like Italian pizza. I like American pizza. The overlap is, like, they are vaguely bread-based things. That's like my experience, that are circular. And yeah, you know, it's true. American Italian food is nothing like real Italian. If you eat Italian America, just know you're eating a subsect, arguably a better subsect. I mean, Americans take food and make it better, right? Like Tex-Mex and a lot of other examples, or rather they make it more American. And who doesn't love American food? Anyway, so there's a bunch of other meme comments you can find as you scroll down right here, but you know what'd be way more fun, you know, like, is if we don't go by top, which is what the consensus is, but instead we go by controversial. A pro tip for anyone out there who enjoys Reddit is to sort by controversial. It will ruin the kind of hive mind attitude, and instead you get crazy stuff. You know, you find the crazies if you go by controversial. Like, let's find the most controversial thing, which is, you know, this is, in case you're curious, things that are very heavily upvoted and downvoted. So this averages out to -1, but it averages out to -1 over, you know, dozens or hundreds of upvotes, because I thought Olive Garden was a bit more classy than regular fast food restaurants. Look at that shit. I'm so lucky I live in a country surrounded by countries who know what good food is. Also, like, that is not a lot, but I can understand. This is a pretty reasonable thing. Like, that is not a lot to me, but I can understand as a European why you'd be confused. And it's just like, boo, how dare you have a reasonable opinion? Also, oh, that's so adorable. You're so focused on America's weight problem, you totally let yourselves go and now you have one too. Oh, how cute. Bro, they are so overweight. No, oh wait, that's the one from earlier. You see, like, it was all the way down there for top, but as far as controversial goes, a lot of people hate it. You see stuff in here like, poor Brits suffering from starvation. It's like, yeah, that amount of food being like a meal. Like, imagine starving, only eating, like, you know, 800 to 900 calories a meal. Imagine how fast you would starve to death on a diet of just 2,700 calories a day. I can really imagine this, the Pale King. You know, in Europe, we actually all are emaciated. Do you see how skinny I am? I'm like this big. How big is this? Like, on your phone, I'm like this big, right? Because that is... this is a dodgy emote to have out there. But yeah, on your phone, I'm very small, right? Because there's just no food in Europe. We just don't have food. And in America, we're just so sad that you guys have it. Also, bruh, we be hungry. Sorry, Europeans are adapted to having almost no food. And Americans are adapted to having too much food. Wouldn't it be nice if there was, like, some way you could balance out that problem? Also, like, Europe's, like, the second, if you, like, in terms of, like, GDP, usually, like, Europe are, like, after China, are, like, second in the world to America in terms of, like, wealth. And if we're not eating all that food, maybe it's just you guys. Just saying. Just saying. Also, why the fuck do Europeans brag about small portion sizes? That's nothing to be proud about. Is it not? Is it not? Are you not allowed to be proud about having dinner sizes of dinner for dinner? Is that crazy that we don't give you enough food to take home? You see, it's crazy. People angry at getting more food for their money? I mean, I don't want to buy more of something than I, you know, need to. I wouldn't like it if I had to buy a 48 pack of hot dogs, you know, rather than a 6 pack to make, you know. In fact, I'd rather buy like 2. I want to make 2 hot dogs for dinner. I don't want to have like 3 days worth of hot dog commitments. I don't want to have to buy 26 liters of milk. I'd rather just buy a liter. Oh, but it's better value for money. But you're also buying more than you want. If you have to get more than you want of something, it's not good value. If you go to the car dealership and they sell you a second car for half price, and you can't sell it, let's just say, because it's consumable, that sounds like a great deal till you realize you don't need 2 cars. But if they force you to buy that second car at half price of your first one, then it's worse value than just paying a little bit more for your first car. Because, yeah, eating out in Europe, in places that aren't America, is you eat out and then you have eaten out, which doesn't sound like it's the case everywhere. Oh, another example, by the way, is that drinks in Europe are usually much smaller. The UK is like a medium between the US and between Europe, I'd say. But in Europe, when you do go, it's like you get 200 milliliter bottles of Coke, 200 milliliters. Google that and your weird, you know, imperial measurements. I'll show you it on screen right now. It's like 16 AR-15s full or something. But like, you know, in freedom units, it's not very much, right? Because that's the size of Coke you get in Europe. Over here, it's like, you just get a bottle or something, and everyone's like, why isn't it like 4 liters? Why don't I have enough for the next 3 days? I've seen big gulps. I've seen big gulps. Anyway, Europe versus America, it's a funny issue. And I love that we managed to end up in a huge thing because of just accidentally making the front page while I was just eating Olive Garden. I was just there eating my Olive Garden, and the front page of Reddit was like, nah, we're gonna tear apart your decisions, and I kind of like that personally. So just in case you are curious, we do in fact have our own subreddit, r/IBXToyCat, and you can see a bunch of things that have been posted there over the years. We've got, you know, things like, well, that's sad because, you know, no one on the Reddit likes the first comments either. First, he. This is tragic. This is kind of mean. But yeah, one of the things I love seeing on the Reddit is original content, or OC as it's called on, you know, Reddit terms. And I want to show off some of that in today's video, just as an appreciation, even when it's dumb memes like Raid Shadow Legends, offers Toycat a sponsorship. Toycat, no, I don't think I will. I did turn down $5,000 just for my ability to keep my ability to speak. I sometimes think about whether it was a good decision, but I'm glad I do, especially when I get memes like this. Got a Joe Biden looking actor in this image. I know it's like Captain America or something. Actually, I guess it can't be Captain America. I always assumed it was. Wait. Oh no, it's from Avengers Endgame. I'm not crazy. It's you that are crazy. It's from Avengers Endgame and /or the 2020 presidential race. Am I right? High quality politics of Toycat. Me. Mum, can we have IBX Toycat? No, we have IBX Toycat at home. At home. The picture that every single site insists of using of me in my closed eyes. Rip. Toycat is yes, he erases stress. Stress, depression, self-consciousness, me watching Toycat videos. How nice. Oh yeah, this is from that, like, very cursed thumbnail, I will say. There's this guy right here, by the way, who built the, thing I said you shouldn't build back in my 5 things you shouldn't build video. He built a 10:1 scale desert temple in survival, which is nuts. I mean, I love the dedication you see. Again, it's like the no, I don't think I will kind of thing. And I love kind of seeing that right there. But yeah, long story short, there's a bunch of OC found on the Reddit. I recommend checking it out and giving it a subscribe because apparently 3,936 of you have done so. Why don't we get 3,936 more? And then we're going to close the Reddit to new people. But no, yeah, Reddit's a fun social media. I use it a lot. It's my favorite tool because I do a lot of flying, in fact, to places like America to get great things like Olive Garden. But yeah, when I'm like in airports or just killing time on the tube or something, I browse Reddit a lot. It's perfect for those moments. I like YouTube a lot. It's probably my favorite social media. Reddit's definitely second because it's like the best text-based one, and I recommend you use. Check out Reddit if you're not big on it. It's a lot of individualized communities, including madlads, but also including r/IBXToyCat, which is the main channel. In case you're curious, so many people make this mistake because we have a second subreddit called r/ToyCat, and everyone just like accidentally posts things from the main channel one to this. This is for the second channel. It's a whole thing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, because if you didn't, then you know what? You should get out of here. And anyway, thank you very much, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Should I do these like Reddit roundups every now and then? Or is this just a fun one-off? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, bye.